Sometimes you can make a finished painting better. That's what this video is about. So let's get started. I'm doing a series of paintings during this stay-at-home time, and these are the activities that we're doing around my house. This is my daughter in the backyard, and this is the painting as I thought it was finished. So this was a few days ago, and I think you find if you paint a lot and then you look at your work, you realize that it's not as finished as you want it to be. And although I start a lot of my videos with paintings from the very beginning to the very end, I thought it would be good to pick one and go at it and let you see what you can do if you want to take things further. So the point is, I felt that the painting was too yellow and that it didn't have enough of a value range. Now I know it has a value range because the dark chair is very, very dark and the whites of the paper are very, very light. But that wasn't enough to anchor the painting for me. The overall painting, when I squint my eyes, is mostly that bright, bright yellow of the grass. And I wasn't happy with that. I knew that I wanted to bring more darker tones in. So that's what I'm doing here. The other thing is I didn't use the complete sheet of paper. I thought maybe I could cheat a little bit and make it the full size of the paper. And in the end, I decided that I did not succeed at that. So the painting isn't going to be as tall as I'm making it right now. That line that goes across the top, what would you call it? Maybe top eighth, top whatever it is. I get rid of that and trim the painting. You know, sometimes you really can have a successful painting if you do a variety of things after you think you're done. One of them is to go in and add more of a value range, which is what I'm doing here, and the other is to trim something, because sometimes your painting says enough and you have more real estate than you really need to hold on to. So that's what I'm showing here. So the first thing that I knew that I wanted to do was to darken the area around her head so that her head would show up more. It was kind of getting lost in the lightness of the background. But I was strategic about it because what I did was her head is mostly orange. And so what I wanted to do was to place a triad that was mostly purple and red and a little bit of burnt sienna around her head. The reason for that is because those start to be complementary colors. And if I could put the complement around the shape I want to enhance, so putting that dark complement behind kind of gave the painting a little bit more punch. So I was pretty happy with that. Now I felt like that very, very yellow grass was too yellow, and I needed to tone it down a little bit. I'm using a lot of orange in this because of the orange in her face, and because orange can be a good way to tone down a green that is just too bright. Overall, I felt like the painting was just too bright. Now, I was responding to the bright sunlight of the day, so that's okay. But as I said, over a few days, I felt like the painting didn't succeed. Now, the other thing that drew me to this painting, whoops, sorry about that, big head there. But the other thing that brought me to wanting to paint this painting was the dramatic shadows underneath the figure. I'm always more drawn to spaces between things than I am in actual objects, and so that interested me. So I went in and put some Prussian blue in on those shapes. And then I felt like the painting started to come together a lot better than it had before. And you can compare the before and the after and decide for yourself what you think is better. I mean, this is all subjective, of course, but in the end, I was happier. So I did trim it down so that it's a longer longer painting than it is wide, and then toned down that extremely strong yellow that I had. And now I do think that the painting works better overall. At least it does in the studio where I'm sitting and looking at it now. And that's the finished piece. So remember to keep the white sheet paper white, your paint's wet, mask for value, mix for color. If you think you're finished with a painting and a few days later you're not happy with it, go back in. Things are fixable. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.